Good morning. It is Saturday, July 22nd, and it is going to be a beautiful day to harvest some things today down here in my garden. I am Dana. This is Growing Dreams Homestead, and my family and I are homesteading on 10 acres, and we grow a lot of our food here in our vegetable garden. So today I'm going to be harvesting some onions and some potatoes, and yeah, let's get started. So I have 3 different types of onions in here that I started from seed back in January, and some are ready and some are not. So we'll take a look at how to tell when your onions are ready to harvest. Alright, so here are our first batch of onions, and they are not ready for harvest. Do you see how their stems are standing strong and tall? They're still growing, they're looking great, and their bulbs are getting fairly big. Now compare that to this bed where our onion stems are bent at the necks, and that means they are ready to be harvested. Now we did have a storm that kind of knocked them down, so they probably would have gotten bigger had that not happened, but once those necks break, they're done developing that bulb for the season. So we'll get these out of the ground. We have a nice tote of onions. So this bed is now cleared out. There's a couple that weren't quite ready, and that's fine. But that is ready to get planted and reset for fall. So we're going to take these onions to the greenhouse. Alright, so we are down in the greenhouse, and I have had my garlic down here curing on this box. I have just a wooden frame with chicken wire on it, and that lets the air flow. So I moved my garlic off of there, and we're going to go ahead and get the onions on there so they can start their curing process. And we got some really good size onions, some little ones, some big ones. Like, look at this guy, it's a good size. So I planted 3 different varieties of onions that I grew from seed. So there is a Utah Sweet, a Pompeii, and then a Globe onion. So some of these smaller ones are the Globe onions, so they don't get real big. I think most of the Utah Sweets are in the other bed that is not quite ready yet. So that'll be, you know, a little bit down the road before we get those. So yeah, they did really good. It was my first year growing onion from seeds. Normally I had used sets, and that had not been like super successful. I mean, we got onions, but not like this. I'm very excited to have lots and lots of onions for this year. We will, after they're cured, they will go down in the basement where they will hang out in that cool space, and we can go down and get them as we need them. Our basement's like our little grocery store in the winter, because that's where our potatoes will be too. So this is just that one row of onions, and we got quite a bit. Now I won't weigh them until they're dry or cured. so we get an accurate weight. But yeah, I mean, I think that looks pretty good. So now it's time for potatoes. Okay, next is potatoes. So we are down here and you can see our potatoes are starting to die back. I could let them go a little longer, but I really want to get this space reset so that I can start my fall stuff. There's also a few potatoes in a couple of random beds where they got left last year on accident, so I'll dig those up too. Hopefully we'll have a lot, so let's get going. Alright, so we are going to use a pitchfork, potato fork, to dig these guys up. Any that get speared will go in a separate bucket to use right away, because sometimes you accidentally spear them. These guys have been in the ground since Good Friday, so quite a while, and hopefully we get lots and lots of potatoes. So love digging potatoes, it's like finding treasure. So here we go, let's see what we got. And I did spear one, of course, but looky here. So lots of potatoes. More. There's going to be a lot. Right, there's some little bitty ones, and those are really good to use when they're fresh, because they're so tender and sweet. And this is a good size one. Just going to keep going. I need to get a wheelbarrow up here for all these weeds as they come out.
Throw this over there.
Yeah. Lots of potatoes. Lots of potatoes. That's a good one. There's some good sized ones in here. So we are about through the first bed, and we got a lot of potatoes, and there are some really good sized ones in here. Like, look at that guy. So we'll go back through and redig. It's getting super hot, so I don't know. We'll probably wait till this evening to tackle the other ones, but That's a good little haul of potatoes from one bed. Hey, so I'm down in the basement and I'm going to put our first bed of potatoes down here to cure. So we weighed them and we did get 45 pounds from that first bed. So I will show you how I cure my potatoes. So potatoes need a cool, dark space. So we're down here in the basement. I have these pallets that have, these were like pieces of an old chicken coop. So there's like a mesh so that they can have good airflow. And I will just lay them out on here so that they can cure. So we did get some really good sized potatoes. Very happy with our first harvest. I am going to take the little ones and put them in a separate bin to take upstairs to use those more quickly, and any ones that are green we're not going to be eating because that they have toxins in them from where they were exposed to sunlight, so those will get separated out to be stored for seed potatoes for next year. So I don't wash them, I leave them dirty, and then I just lay them out in a single layer here on these screens so that they can dry. After a bit, like in a couple weeks, I will put them in bags. I have some like feed sacks that are pig feed comes in, and they are breathable, and I'll put them into, break them down into smaller amounts, and then I have some wooden crates down here that I'll put those in. But these will store, like last year I did this, and we had potatoes into probably February before they really started sprouting a lot. So it's a good way to keep your harvest. I probably will can some of them as well, so they'll be ready to go. This is probably one of the bigger potato plantings I have done, and got a really nice harvest. So grow potatoes, it's worth it. So I got my potatoes laid out, and then I got a little bucket of these that will go upstairs to the pantry so we can use them now, and then we have 3 more beds to do, so we should have lots of potatoes. Hey, so it ended up getting pretty warm out, and we are gonna hold off on digging more potatoes until it cools off, maybe later this evening. If we do, I'll shoot some more video, but I want to go ahead and sign off on this video. Thanks for coming along with me. Pretty happy with our harvest. Hope you're having a lovely day, and we'll see you soon. Have a good one. Bye.